Hi, Nora, how are you?
I'm pretty good. And yourself?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well since the last time we spoke. First of all, great film. I love sci-fi films, and this movie is amazing. I mean, there's so much depth and layer to it, and it looked beautiful. First of all, how did you get on board with the project for the colony?
So I actually auditioned for it. It was 3 years ago. I was shooting a TV show in South Africa, and in between takes, I did a little tape. And I didn't have any news, like no feedbacks at all. And 6 months later, they offered me the part.
It's amazing. Now, can you tell me a little bit about Blake and Kepler and why she is coming to Earth?
Yeah, so Blake is an astronaut living on planet Kepler. Her father was sent on a first mission to Earth to see if it could sustain life again. And Blake is going on a second mission because in planet Kepler, you can't procreate anymore. So she's sterile. So so the objective for her is to see if Earth can sustain life again.
Right. And now, when you first read the script for Colony, what were some of the themes that jumped out at you that attracted you to the project?
Well, the ecological theme was very strong, and especially nowadays after the pandemics, it resonates even more in people's hearts. But yeah, and I just love the idea of like playing this role. She goes through a lot of she has a very, very interesting emotional journey in the beginning. On planet Kepler, she learns how to suppress her emotions in order to survive.
Sure.
And when she lands on Earth, she starts having these human feeling again. Her TSH level starts recovering, and she gets her period for the first time. So that was an interesting journey for the character, especially for an actor to having to repress emotions and feelings and yeah.
Now, and this version of Earth too is foreign to her. She hasn't seen this version of Earth yet, and she's she knows about it a little bit with her dad. Can you talk to me about the relationship between her and her father, Blake and her father?
Yeah, so he left her when she was very young, with the hope that she could see him again. He never called Kepler. So when she goes on the mission, she has two objectives: see if there's a possibility of life on Earth, but also with the strong mission to find her father again.
Absolutely. And when she arrives on Earth, how does she feel about it when she actually gets there? Does it meet the expectation that she had, all the stories that she had about it?
Well, she discovers a lot of new things. There's a scene where she eats for the first time oysters. Yeah, I mean, she's a fish out of the water. She's never been to Earth, and she's gonna have to start dealing with. She encounters the muds, who are the leftover humans, and she's gonna have to learn how to work with them in order to, get to her objective.
Absolutely,
survival and finding her father.
Now, this film was also written and directed by Tim Fehlbaum. Can you talk to me about working with him as a collaborator?
Yeah, so Tim's amazing because he respects the actor like no one. He loves to rehearse. We rehearsed a lot with the hearings and everything, and yeah, he's the kind of director who really likes to talk a lot to his actors and give them their space as well. The space to try things out, and yeah, he's very close to his actors.
Now, what did you want to bring to the role of Blake that wasn't necessarily on the page?
That's a really good question. I mean, I just when you build a character, you try to bring as much as your own personal stuff. So I try to personalize a lot of things, especially with her father, and yeah, and sometimes they're kind of like how do you say comic relief? Yeah, is that a word?
Comic relief, yeah.
Comic relief, and that's what I love to bring that in my characters, a little bit of humor, because yeah, why not?
You're always such a badass too. I feel like whenever I see you in certain roles. Now with this film in particular, Tim also was your writer and director. How does that help inform your character, with him also being one of the co-writers on this film?
Yeah, so he's not attached to dialogue necessarily.
Okay.
What I love about Tim is that he focuses on the truth. So we try to like make it as real as possible, and he's also super open to improvisation as well, which is great. And yeah, it's really funny because we shot this like 3 years ago now, and so I'm kind of like trying to like remember all this we kind of like went through, but I remember like my first day of shooting was in the wastelands, and I had no dialogue, and I was so happy about it because like it was all very physical, like so it was an opportunity to just be in my body. We rehearsed that scene where she lands on Earth and she starts walking for the first time, and it was a disaster. and Tim was like, "Okay, you gotta like let's do it again." So we did it again and again and again, and step by step, I started understanding how my character was what her body language was, which was a great first day.
Now, with a film like this. Look, Tim's brilliant. I think he did a great job look, this film looks like it's on a huge epic scale. Tim did a great job of really capturing that. Can you talk to me about working with Tim and what his directing style added to the project for The Colony?
Yeah, so we have an amazing DP, which is his name is Marcus Horder, and he did a lot of handheld camera, and Tim and Marcus really wanted to play with shades and the camera movements, like a dance, like the camera was dancing around the actors, and the camera was finding the actors, and not the actors finding the camera, which it was kind of very similar to, in a different style, with Zack Snyder in a way, and I love working this way, and it works really well with action movies. And also what I love about Tim, the way he sees cinema is it's a lot about what you don't say.
I see.
Like you can explain an emotion or a situation through the eyes of the characters and not necessarily with dialogues, which we loved. So yeah.
Now you also get to work alongside the great Ian Glenn, who's plays Gibson in this. He was on Game of Thrones, and he's currently Batman in Titans. Can you talk about his character Gibson and just working with Ian on this film?
Yeah, so he's the head of the writers. He worked with my father, so Blake's father. And in the beginning, Blake doesn't really know if she can trust him, but she needs him in order to get to her objective. But she will soon realize that she cannot trust him. But the way Ian played the character was it was beautiful because he didn't play it like the antagonist. He played it like this charming person who's idealistic, who wants to save the world, but to a price that's actually he's evil, but he doesn't play the evil.
Yeah, and that's as soon as you get introduced to him, he's so disarming, and you almost feel like he almost makes you feel like you're on his side until you start really seeing what's going on, which is a really fascinating side of him, because I hadn't seen him really play that type of role before. Now, with something like sci-fi, it can be used as a cautionary tale for people that watch it. What are you hoping audiences take away with The Colony?
Well, first, I hope they enjoy the movie because it does have very important ecological theme, but it's also a movie about friendship, about family, about values, and I think it will resonate in people's minds and hearts. Mind, yes, but heart.
Absolutely.
Because we're all going through this. Like, can we repair our past mistakes? And what are we focusing on? Are we focusing on the external or on the internal? And I think what's important is that we all have a tendency to see the big picture, but what's interesting is that we can really, like, saving the planet is one thing, but like we got to work on the internal first.